Tell the people right now, pegboard nerds matter have you locking at the sound. All of the gal I go passing when me boy I go drop them a coming. Murder. Me a the burning fire and natural born killer. When me bust into flame, watch out some might sting. You better turn it, I am make the bad boy bigger. When they come around, we all go on them. Listen to the word and the fire you caught in the middle. When the flames get higher, put up your gun fingers. Return all of the fire, it's a bad man signal, give a sign. And pull your gun finger trigger. Gun finger trigger. Gun finger trigger. Gun finger trigger. Return all of the fire, it's a bad man signal, give a sign. And pull your gun finger trigger. Pull your gun finger trigger. Pull your gun finger trigger. It's a bad man signal, give a sign. Pull your gun finger trigger. Me a the burning fire and natural born killer. When me bust into flame, watch out some might.
Hello everyone and welcome back to UK Uni Valorant Tournament Series 2. I am Rook and I'm joined by Fluff we had a corker of the first match, didn't we, Fluff?
Yeah, it was looking to be a one-sided affair at the start of Lana just absolutely carrying their team. Of course, this beautiful 3K off the start, but unfortunately they could not close it out, and it was getting interesting towards the end.
It certainly was. You can see here Lana showing us that superb aim as they just move on in here, finding basically every frag, but those were most of the frags their team were finding, and the rest of the team not able to hold it up to snuff. And UEA able to make a huge comeback after an early lead from Leeds and really take control of that game when they moved on to the defensive side here on Bind.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this next map as well, but we'll see what the ban is. I don't believe we know what it is yet, but as you see on the highlight reel right now, Cannibal Lime was getting some nice frags towards the end from the UEA side, but Griffin here was that nice 4K as well. That is fantastic, but yeah, they managed to close out the game in the end. I didn't think that was going to happen, but congrats to UEA.
It absolutely was, and I mean, UEA, deep talent pool, a team who have obviously won it before. This is their second team, but still showing us that they have been able to properly use that kind of spike in popularity they have had with the rest of their kind of Discord and turn it into a full second team of players who are very willing to frag, very willing to play as a team as well. And that is the mark of a great team and a great university, honestly, when you have those different levels of teams that are all getting that team play down to a T.
Yeah, I don't think there's many universities with more than one team. I know some universities are trying to struggle to get one team off the ground, but we do have the next map, and it is they have picked Haven. So, of course, the interesting map out of Valorant, in my opinion, with the 3-bomb site dynamic, and I think all the usual picks are going to come in. I'm not sure if we'll see a Reyna, but Reyna is pretty strong, so I expect to see at least one.
Do they do? I mean, we saw 2 Reynas, we saw 2 Breaches, we saw 2 Sages, but only 1 Brimstone. Actually, as well, 2 Cyphers as well. So very similar team comps, but swapping out that Brimstone for something a little bit more different in the Omen, obviously, for Lana. I think I'd be surprised to not see teams return to the Brimstone, but the rest of these, we've got some very powerful picks on our hands.
Yeah, definitely. It all depends on comfort picks as well. Of course, we're not professional players, although some of us might like to think that. But play what you're good at in the university scene, and hopefully you'll be able to get some frags and ultimately some rounds.
Absolutely, you will. And we're seeing a couple of different changes here. We're seeing the Omen stick around. We're seeing, obviously, the Sage, unsurprisingly to anyone, stick around. We've got one Breach, one Cypher, but this time we've got both Phoenix, Jet, and also a Raze coming on it.
Yeah, I of course, I always love it to see a Jet pick, as I am a filthy Jet main. But yeah, I mean that. I think the last time we streamed, Jet had a buff of her smokes from 4 to 7 seconds. So although I don't think that caters to her playstyle, it does help the team out a little bit.
Absolutely does. We're going to be moving on in, looking for an A push early on. The attackers right now, as they are looking to use that kind of tempo to really abuse the opponents as they move on in. Raiho missing those early shots, and these flashes doing a little bit of work, but not quite able to lead to anything early on here as the attackers, they're just moving right on out.
Yeah, they're all just going back right now. It's a little bit all in, and then they just they put the brakes on and they're going back. They have left Doc Brodo here. Just there's a little bit of bait. You should be able to get 1 kill right here, but we'll see that Yorker currently pushing into looks like Garage at the moment, and it looks like it's going to be a C split, that Cypher towards long.
Indeed, it's absolutely fantastic because there's only 2 players that they're going to have to deal with. However, Keels will get full flashed as he's trying to hold this angle. Almost gets a shot on, but will have to fall back. Doesn't take any damage, but that is giving it away to the rest of their team. And Nyx finding some good shots early on here with that Ghost. They'll lose 1, but lose another as well. The attackers are going to be able to get this spike down with the utility coming on in and so many players convening on their location. Sure, they've got a player on the flank, but it's going to be hard to hold this, and Megalodonga is not able to find that one either. It's 1 versus 3. Doc Brodo, you've got to be faster, mate. We know you can hit these shots, but you need to up the tempo.
Yeah, the diffuser is going to come in here, and it should just get down before he gets the last player, and that is fantastic there from Salford right there. They stuck the plant. They trusted that there was going to be enough stalling time for Doc Brodo not to be able to get the frag, and unfortunately, York couldn't close out that round. Doc Brodo did all he could. He was a little bit slow on the flank, but it was a valiant attempt.
Did the worst. Salford able to pick up that first one, but not at a cost. You'll see a couple of these players lacking in terms of money after this round. If they lose this one, things are going to look oh so peaky for them. Won't be able to buy it in a couple of rounds. But the judge in a good position, and I mean a general advantage in terms of weaponry, should set them up for this one.
Yeah, this judge at close range, this can be absolutely brutal here. All of the players just the other side of this door. We'll see if they just walk into Kursel's crosshair here. But,
yeah, they are looking a little bit in the right position
right now. Yeah, definitely.
But I like that we're seeing the attackers again, much like last game, be passive. This will be a first frag for Kursel. Has moved their position around a little bit, but still trying to hold this one. Gets another as Silverfang also tries to test Kursel in this position. And with that slow orb, they're going to be able to hold this bomb for a little bit longer. This is eating through the attacker's time bank right now. And I don't know if they know what to do. That is going to be huge. That concussion, making Megalodonga struggle to hit that shot onto Sword and keep them alive that little bit longer. The defenders continuing to find these shots and get so aggressive. These rifles that they nick will set them on up, and such a good round for them.
Yeah, well, Kursel there just not getting too overconfident there, just playing passive with that judge. It's easy to get a little bit too greedy. So second round does come out for Salford. It was not too bad, but they do keep over a couple of the Spectres from the previous round, as we here just see that replay from Kursel just very easily just tapping really with the shotgun at close range. Nothing that York could have done.
It isn't. I mean, you have to be oh so careful. Some good opening shots as the operator so early on for Nyx will finish off Doc Brodo. And again, these defenders really taking pace. And that's very important here on Haven because, I mean, Haven's an attacker-sided map, isn't it?
Yeah, I would say so. The defense have to be split so thin, and it's just easy for the attackers to get the site. But it's the matter of the retake. It's if you can keep enough players for the retake to come in, and you've got enough abilities, that's when you win rounds on the defense side.
Certainly is. Kissel Couldn't hold this angle. A good head height. Megalodon still unsure of whether he wants to push on in. He's got the flashes, but they're trying to get these wall bangs. Silverfang, that's a good start.
Yeah, good frag from him. A little bit of a miss smoke here from Johnny. And he does spot the player out, and the molly will come in, so he will call over for his teammates for a little bit of a rotate, as it does look like a B push is going to come in here. But doesn't actually come in. The bomb goes back a little bit, and I'm not really sure what they're doing. A little bit indecisive, and Nyx does miss a shot, unfortunately, but they do seem to have the sight, and the plant's going to come in.
Nyx getting super aggressive with this operator. Megalodon will cover the cross, but Sword was all too happy to watch it from above, using that teleport to great effect. And the defenders currently getting this quite on lock. I mean, Salford looking really good right now.
Yeah, definitely. Nyx playing well with that operator, obviously getting the early pick, which was relatively easy for them, but we'll see if they can keep this form up. 6 kills in 3 rounds and not a death to their name, so bad buy coming out from York here. A couple of sheriffs, not all the utility that they would want, so it should be a relatively easy round for Salford and put 4 on the board, but we'll see what happens here. Player has been spotted out, and Rift does go down, but oh, nice headshot from Brodo there.
Yeah, making good use of the Sheriff. I've seen Brodo with the Sheriff before, and he is certainly no slouch. Silverfang, very happy to get onto this site as quickly as they possibly can. With the utility set up, they really want to try and make this play and get the plant, but unfortunately, they're going to struggle. Sure, Johnny falls, and Sword isn't able to find a frag either. Ooh. This is a fantastic opportunity for York on the attack to be able to pick up their first round. Nyx is watching from above, but can't quite find anyone. No one is peeking them, and the smoke goes on in. That has really shut them down. We're going to be looking at Megalodon. He's going to put that molly on down. You can hear the jet ult has been popped, and he's looking to get aggressive. Drops on down, but Megalodon ready and waiting to shut that one out. And right now, Kirsel, the last remaining member of Salford, unable to find this round as they drop their first round on this defense.
Yeah, on paper, that was definitely looking like a round for Salford. It looks like we're going to get 4 on the board, but that, even though that they didn't get the opening trade, and but Doc Broder did come out with the great long-range deagle shot onto the player holding long there, which just really opened up the site and let them plant. But I'm really not sure what happened there from Salford. They had players on the site, but they just couldn't hit their shots, really.
Yeah, and, you know, sometimes that happens. And unfortunately, sometimes isn't good enough here. As York take advantage of it on a, as you can see, thrifty round. Sheriffs basically for everyone. They're able to pick up that W and pick up rifles pretty much everyone. The only person who wasn't able to, I think, was Silverfang there, who had to buy up here. But really, really great for them, as now they've put spring to their step, and now that they can actually bring up these rifles, it's going to be very important that they take these rounds and continue with it if they're going to make good use of the strong side that they're on right now.
Yeah, they got a nice little bit of a buffer there. They've got some extra money in the bank, so shouldn't be, even if they lose this round, there shouldn't be an eco coming in, but just gonna be slowly pushing up towards A right here. It seems like the defenders have changed their setup a little bit. They usually play 2 on the A side, but now they're only playing 1.
It's interesting to see. I think maybe they're expecting some sort of B push, as we have seen a bit of that coming out from York here, but they might be wrong in that read. Patience is indeed a virtue, as right now, Salford making heavy use of it.
Yeah, I mean, Rojo, he's definitely playing passive, as they should right now, as they're just playing for info right now. But you see, the smokes are going to come in from Doc Brodo, and they should just swarm onto the A site with relative ease. There we go. The smokes are in. Raiho does hit out with the concussion right here and the flash through the box. He doesn't go for it in the end, but Rift does easily take him down. So Plant is coming down now. 5v4 retake for the defending side.
It is. Defenders already in position. You can see up in heaven, both Johnny and Nyx are going to get smoked off. Kirsel, though, happy to get these frags as quick as they possibly can. A good slow will stop the rotate onto site, at least initially. They'll be able to slip on in. However, Jimbo and Doc Brodo holding these angles strong and shut down that attempted push. I mean, the defenders really set up for a good position, but unfortunately, overestimating themselves a little bit and walking right into the sights of those two players.
Yeah, there was no player on the flank there, which isn't always an issue, but it probably would have helped them there. Just take a little bit of pressure away from the player along looking towards heaven. But as we see now, Salford on their first bad bite of the game. It's not the end of the world. They still can win, as we've seen these sheriffs come out with some kills before, but it's not going to be easy considering they're on the defense side.
And it certainly isn't. Megalodon trying to get those wall bangs early on. Unfortunately, didn't quite find them there, but continuing to try and contest towards mid in a very BC-centric push right now for the attackers, as they are playing, yet again, quite slow. And against pistols, you have all the time in the world.
Yeah, definitely the worst thing to do is throw a gun away. Of course, want to be peeking together, which is what they're doing right now. Doc Brodo with, I think he's got an operator just looking towards C-Long, so I'm not too unhappy with that, but it should be an easy round as 45 seconds on the clock. They do have to go somewhere eventually, though. They can't wait for the defenders to push them. That's not how the game works, as the flash does come into Garage, and Megalodon does get 2 easy frags there. Let's see if we can do any more with the Omen just around this corner. He does flash himself a little bit, but info spotted out, and that's all they need. Raiho tries to go through the smoke, but he will get swiftly taken down.
Yeah, and not a scratch on the attackers right now, as they have had a pretty fantastic round for themselves. Honestly, do see Johnny trying to get a little bit aggressive, but Doc Brodo now a little bit more on form, not missing those shots we were seeing earlier with this operator. Really sets up their team, does Megalodon, to take control of this one and bring the scores even Stevens.
Yeah, fantastic round from York there. Obviously, it was against an eco, so nothing to put on the highlight reel, but they didn't lose a player, so you see them sitting around 8.6k, 6k, 9k, and 5k as well. But they should have lots of money for the rest of the half, which is always a nice thing to have. Nice little bit of a confidence boost.
Absolutely is. Doc Brodo going to be peeking out mid. The smoke will land, and as a result, he won't be able to try and find those shots. But there's actually a player out towards mid right now. Sword playing pretty passive though, and it's Kirsel who has been constantly on this Sage, even finding those first frags to the defensive side of Salford.
Yeah, that's really going to help them out here. But the Sage ult was taken down from York there, so really don't give them so much of a chance right now. But Megalodonga does flash into Garrett, and they do get the control of that, and he hits a nice shot onto Kirsel. But we'll see if he can do any more. Its position is known by Nyx right here, so they are just going to keep on scoping on that area. Jimbo's just going to bide his time right here.
And I appreciate the kind of patience, again, not wanting to over-aggress, but starting to move into that position now. Rest of the team starting to get pincered. Watch out for this flank from the breach, but he doesn't even try for it. Playing a lot more passive than one would expect. Sword is going to move into his stand-up position here. In fact, that teleport just about makes it out of dodge for him, but has given away his position, so not in the greatest of spots right now, and that'll lead to this wall, which should split the entire site up. But he just moves into position yet again. Johnny shutting down Jimbo as they try and go for it. Sword in this position, able to just take pot shots at whoever pops out. Doc Brodo now caught in a very awkward position. Johnny will finish off those remaining two, and honestly, really nice round for the defense to put a stop to the momentum that York were really starting to build up.
Yeah, even though the flank didn't come in from the breach, it didn't really matter because the attacking side decided to go B. They had a very, very nice crossfire set up there. And there was nothing that the attackers really could have done to confirm to get that site. Obviously, a couple of ults coming in from the defense side, but they're not going to be too unhappy with that.
It is going to be these rifles. bearing down upon the A site. Johnny playing real aggressive and right up against it. You can say the same for Riho here, but Riho forced out by that molly, and they are just not checking it. Johnny biding their time, able to find one, and now starting to put pressure on towards Long as the rest of the team very much ready to move into position. Sword is already here, and with Megalodonga going down, you have to feel bad if you're the attackers. You are in a great spot, and now everything is falling apart. Riff, however, holds well at hell here, but Kearsel is not long for this world either, as Brock Dodo. So Doc Brodo will pick up both that one and Johnny here. It's 1 versus 2, but it's certainly a player to keep your eyes on with this operate right now. Gonna be able to jump down. Will find the first, looking for that second, but unfortunately was blocked by the weapon model there and wasn't able to spot him out. Doc Broad with a 4K, picking up fantastic round for the attackers and keeping things so darn close.
I thought Nyx was completely done for there. Coming in with an operator from heaven, and there was a player towards the hell area. I thought there was no way they were going to have any chance in that round, but fantastic shot coming onto Jimbo there, and unfortunately couldn't get the second frag, but you know, it wasn't really a deserved frag to get if you were to get it, as the attackers did have quite a good defense setup, sorry.
They did. Doc Brodo looking towards that window position. We've seen a lot of players on the defense trying to take that one. Just about missing Sword's feet there, but Kearsel holding real far back, and I appreciate this because this defensive position is the antithesis of what they've really been doing so far, where normally they've been the one to make these plays, and this time they're going to be able to dodge that utility that's invested early on. Sword finding Silverfang in mid.
Oh, Megalodonga coming in with a frag onto Kearsel again. They really are just scrapping it out in that garage area, even though the Brim ult was invested there. Now Breach. I'm not sure I rate that ult too much. It does clear out the mid area, but
putting a new meaning in fault line.
Yeah. Yeah, it was the zoning ult, definitely.
100% is. Doc is hit by that concussion, but the rest of their team already in garage, looking to push on up, waiting for this opportunity. Notice that Nyx is at the other end of long to where you would normally expect, and this is a hard read and a very interesting position right now for the side of Salford.
Yeah, these teams really like to get their garage control, and Doc Brodo just comes in absolute disrespect with the no-scope, most likely. But we'll see if Sword can do anything. He does have the ult, so they can get the info, but Megalodonga, once again, coming in with another headshot. He's playing absolutely fantastically, but he does get caught with his pants down a little bit there, and wasn't looking towards Raiho. See what he can do on the 2-on-3 retake, but I don't give them much chance here. The attackers are set up, and Doc Brodo does take out that player easily, and Johnny's not really going to have a lot left to do here. Maybe get 1 or 2 exits at the best, but you know, he's not going to go for the defuse.
It's 3 players on site. Doesn't really want to mess with that. I appreciate that he doesn't fancy his odds, and will start to back on off, especially with how Doc Broad has been playing these last couple of rounds on this operator. Very dynamic, very aggressive, and, well, basically just not missing a shot. Yeah,
it was a bit quiet towards the beginning of the game, it must be said, but he started hitting some nice shots now, and it's been proven by the scoreboard as they do take the lead in this game. 5-4.
But it's not too much of a lead, honestly. And been some really impressive stuff out of Salford to keep themselves even. York definitely have been fragging, have been having great rounds. But the fact that this game is so even is a testament to how well this defense is playing. And their rotates and their coverage that has been very effective on a map where normally that's very difficult.
Yeah, they definitely like to take this garage control, and mid-aggression coming out on the bad buy, and unfortunately Kearsel has been caught by the stream there, missing everything. I think 5 out of the 6 sheriff shots, so he did get the 1 in there, but see if he can redeem himself here.
Does make the flick, but unfortunately that molly is more than enough for him. Nyx will cover up his mess, but Wraith is going to be able to take them down. It's a 1 versus 2. But a massive advantage in terms of weaponry right now. And I mean, Wraith only has to deal like 1 damage to this breach to put themselves on even footing.
Yeah, but to be fair, they shouldn't have found themselves in this position at
Oh,
all.
100%.
That mid aggression just really just screwed them over. To be honest, they they're not looking too hot in this round right here. They're going to be playing off sound the defensive players here, and we'll see if Rith checks this angle.
He's looking like he's going to. He doesn't.
Ooh.
He does manage to find the flick, however. And with that, be able to pop his ultimate. He is looking for this 1v1. He is willing to take it all the way. And Johnny up on the stage, name in lights right now. Down to them to really pick this one out and keep their team in a good position. But Rythe finds the shots, and what a way to do it. Absolutely fantastic. And a round they needed to win regardless.
Yeah, I think Salford have absolutely no right winning that round, but they got it down into the 1v1 post plant situation, so they're definitely going to be happy with that. Yeah, exactly. That ult was just to confirm the round that they should have, but obviously, as we said, that shouldn't have need to be invested at the beginning of the round anyway.
Yeah, and this is really good as well if you're the defenders. If you can pick up this round now, there's very little gas left in the tank for York.
Yeah, you're going to be happy with a 5-7 half if you're playing on the defender's side. As fast A push comes in here, the smokes are down from both sides, and interesting B hopping coming in there from Silver Fang. I have to say, but we'll see if Megalodonga can say anything about it.
Yeah, a little bit aggressive there. Megalodonga looking to absolutely donk Raiho there. Still one player behind these boxes, but not for long as the attackers rip and tear through the remaining players. Next, we'll find one shot, looking for a couple more in a great opportunity here. It is the 1v1. Ducks back on out. This means that actually, this Phoenix is able to escape. The issue is he does not have that spike, does he?
No, he doesn't, but I don't think the position of the spike is known. It might have been called out by a teammate, but you see Nyx is just looking around for the player right now. Spike is picked up as Nyx goes towards heaven, but Megalodonga is just going to absolutely book it and get out of there. Now, is he going to go A or... Oh, I was going to say, was he going to go B or C, but
the mind game.
He's trying to outplay Nyx right here. Nyx hasn't rotated as of yet, but we'll see what they do.
Did well. Megalodonga sneaking onto site as soon as that spike starts to plant. He will set himself up for a world of hurt as Nyx is ready and waiting in this position. Won't be able to see him from heaven, but since they know that they can't see him through heaven, they'll be waiting for the shot. Misses it though, and a flick and a half from Megalodonga there will pick up the attackers this round. And honestly, after a little bit of a quiet start to this map, going even, trading back and forth with the defenders, York have come alive in these last couple of rounds and really been able to clutch it out in some very awkward situations, even though they mess up the early start of the round.
Yeah, I think that's really a shot Nyx has to hit there. But last round, so Force will come in. Not I think everyone's got every weapon they want, and it looks like it's going to be a fast B hit.
Indeed it is, but it looks like fast was a bit of an overstatement right now.
Yeah.
Playing rather passive.
Once again, trying to take that garage control. They both these teams seem to really like doing that, and it seems that York have been coming out on top on that battle, but they haven't really been doing anything with it. But Kirstel once again coming in with the opening fag, but Jimbo does take them out with the wallbang, so that res will not be able to be used by Salford. So that is quite a big frag from York.
It's basically a 2-for-1 at that moment, and we see the res actually come on through from York as they've set themselves up for yet another good round. Sword is going to put down that smoke, which means they have put a little bit of time in mid, and there's not too much time to go around. And still a couple of players here in B. We're going to be seeing the Hellfires come out on both sides. Going to be able to finish off Doc Brodo as Nyx punishes him for pushing on out into garage and moves into a very aggressive position around the corner here.
Yeah, once again, they really want that garage control. Not sure why they're focusing on it too much, but the C-split is going to come in right here. That should be an easy frag for Megalodonga, and it is so. Raiho gets one, can't be able to get the second, but he does tag up Phoenix and Raze, so the retake is possible here, definitely.
Yeah, and this is one of the easier 2v3s to win, especially when that raised is already off the board and it's already a 2v1. Johnny, with these smokes, should be able to really set up their team. But you can see, already waiting in the wings is Megalodonga. Johnny goes down and Sword, now only with 30 HP. Likely going to get blindsided here if he tries to push on up. Will indeed. Right, able to shut that one down. And the attackers taking a half where it wasn't looking so great. They were going even to an 8-4 scoreline is fantastic for them.
Yeah, considering that that Salford were did get those first initial 3 rounds, it didn't go too well for them in the end. But yeah, we'll see what happens here on the pistol. And it looks like once again another garage push here. They've got 4 players towards second mid and the Brimstone over towards long to put those smokes down. As of course, we can actually see the player pings now as the observer, so you see exactly what smokes are going to come out.
It is always interesting to see what teams are really planning. Gives you a bit of an insight on into that one. As you know what, I'm going to go from these 2 teams. They're going to push into garage. Doc Brodo, waiting on the other side of garage, finds the first one, looking for a little bit more, but not able to do his best impression of the Omen from last game. Instead, it falls to an Omen himself. Raiho looking to move on out. Are some players back towards CT here, but Raiho is able to get onto site. However, on that platform, Megalodonga interrupts that spike plant. And as much as you want to get aggressive, Johnny, it's the wrong decision here. Falls, Spike very much in control of the defenders. And with only Nyx alive, Salford got a little bit of a problem on their hands as Raiho will finish off that one.
Yeah, they definitely needed that pistol there. They are not going to have a great chance of winning this game now, but we'll see what they do. If I was in their situation personally, I would just tell the team to force right here because they need the rounds. They need everything they can get. So I would call a force right here, but it looks like they're going to go for an eco. Nyx does buy up, so we'll see if the team follows suit, but it doesn't look like they're going to be.
It will be. 4 players looking to pile onto the C site. See Megalodonga hopping up and down, looking for some of that information. He is very aware that this push is coming on in. But with only a Ghost, might struggle to hold. The Doc Brodo shuts down the attempt at a push into garage there. And will be able to deal with one. Megalodonga gets aggressive, gets the 2 dinks. And will take him right on down, looking for an aggressive peek. Does manage to find it. Finishes off the final one. And defenders with a very clean round, even though they dropped Doc Brodo here.
Yeah, I mean, Doc Brodo did really need to come out of garage right there and help his teammate out, Megalodonga, with only the Ghost there. So it wasn't looking too pretty, but the attackers definitely do have the weapon advantage this round. We see 3 Spectres and a Bucky for the defense side, along with a Vandal from Megalodonga. And the attacking side, there's 2 Vandals, a Phantom, a Bulldog. So they do have the weapon advantage, and they need this round. If they lose this round, I'm prepared to say that the game is over and that York are going to be taking it away.
100%. You need to win this round. This is your big opportunity economically, and you need to take that momentum and really push it somewhere. Otherwise, things are not going to end well for you. Taking buckshot like that, oh, that is not the way you want to be starting off your rounds.
Yeah, definitely not. Unfortunately, that frag doesn't come out, so they won't be happy with that.
Oh, good spray down there from Rith. We'll be able to find that one, and these Spectres working wonders and might just be the round win that they need to close out this game. It does indeed seem that way. Rifles now in hand for York, moving towards match point ever so rapidly. No economy in the bank as well for Salford. I mean, what do you do here?
I don't know. I could not tell you what to do right here right now, because basically you just have to hit every single shot. You have to play perfectly from now on. There's 2 rounds and you're out of the game, and you have to win. You have to win 9 pretty much in a row there. So it's really not looking good for Salford at the moment, but they have gone for an eco. I do not agree with that. as it does put them into a position where they have to play perfectly with those rifles from every other round. But we'll see if they make it work.
It does. Sheriffs certainly are powerful. They have an ultimate with which they can make these plays, but it's certainly going to be hard. And putting Johnny on the front lines seems a little bit precarious to me because I think that's the big axis from which they should be able to push. They're pushing into rifles. They've got to make something happen with the utility. That's the big change point here.
Yeah, definitely. They are just waiting for a mistake on the defense side. If we have a look at the minimap, absolutely no one is moving. Everyone is holding angles right now. It is a complete stalemate. I would not want to be the attackers right now. They have to group up and push somewhere, and that B site is going to be hard to take. But it looks like they're just going to try and edge towards it if they can.
They are. Riho. Need to push on up. Smokes come on in, but that slow orb is absolutely fantastic right here. Really allowing them to push on in. Well, sorry, not allowing them to push on in. 20 seconds, as you say, they kind of really have to get aggressive here. There's no ultimate is going to be helping them push on in, but those pistols are able to find the frags that they ever so need. Megalodonga rushes on in with a flurry of bullets, is able to take down 3. And now you've got to get this spike down. You don't have time. You have to just back on up. And that is defenders putting themselves on match point. It's going to be a ramshackle buy for Salford. And they're really going to have to pull out all the stops. They still have the ultimate for the Brimstone, but so do the opponents now.
Yeah, I mean, it was lucky enough for them to get the plant, but as you said, that Phoenix with the Phoenix ult coming in, just hitting some headshots, easy from that. Of course, the Phoenix ult just gives you a whole load of confidence, and it was pretty easy round for them to take after that.
It is. Doc Brother. Very early investing in that utility. Doesn't want to get rushed or anything of the sort. They just have to tick all the boxes, and this round is pretty much theirs. And, well, soon so will the game be. Nyx plays aggressively, does manage to trade out for Sword's aggressiveness. Ooh. Jimbo, however, will say, nope, Nyx, none of that from thee. We'll see Doc Brodo continuing to do said aggression up into mid here. Jimbo will be forced out of position, but still has their ultimate ready themselves. You see some flashes coming on in. Might mean it's an opportunity. However, Rith is ready for the push. You can see the bomb is right there, ready to move on into A, but already the rotates are coming on in. It's going to be the shots. Rith is waiting for it. Takes down Raiho, and looking for that second. Rith will finish it on off 13-4. One hell of a rout, honestly, for York.
Yeah, definitely. It was looking quite even at the early stages of the game there, but then I think Megalodonga and Doc Pro just really started hitting some shots there and just completely carried their team out from that. So it wasn't too hard after all, but it's definitely looking close at one point.
It certainly was, and it's some nice stuff from Salford early on. I really did believe they had it. They were able to keep it. You can see on the scoreboard, as you might have seen earlier, 4 rounds for them going into round 8, I think it was. And after that, they were just never able to make a comeback. They weren't able to pick up a single round. And University of York just looked switched on. And when they're switched on, I mean, University of York looked fantastic. Yeah,
definitely. Kissel was coming out with a couple of nice frags of their own to try to do as much as they can for their team, but eventually it was not good enough. And Doc Broder here, see that first round, it just wasn't enough. So this is where Salford did get some nice frags. Of course, winning the first 3 rounds, I believe, and they were 4-1 up at one point, but they just couldn't close out in the end.
No, and it was things like this. Jimbo really finding these frags, getting those spray down. Doc Brodo bringing the heat as well. Nyx getting real aggressive here. Unfortunately, didn't find this round. It was so sad to see because it was a great opportunity for them. And you see Megalodonga having one hell of a pop-off game. Really impressed with this player on the Phoenix. We don't see too many Phoenixes. Not that he's weak, just people don't seem to like him.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely a viable character. He doesn't cater towards more team play, which is probably why we didn't see it. But of course, he did get some frags and some good kills with the ults there.
Absolutely did. Some really solid stuff and a great first day, honestly, from all the teams so far. And I'm very excited to see how this tournament is going to progress. If it's anything like the last one, it'll be one hell of a watch show. Don't forget that we will be streaming this for the next couple of weeks here on Thursday, same time, same place. So I would say don't go anywhere, but I can't expect you to not look at any other Twitch channels for a whole week. That would be pretty... I just wouldn't expect it of you. But please come back, see me, see Fluff, if we're actually going to be casting again. But there'll still be some fantastic games ready and waiting for you. And
yeah, definitely come down to our Discord and join it, because we might have some more 10-mans coming up in the near future. So just get involved with the community and have some fun.
Indeed. I've been Rook. Joining me has been Fluff. On the production has been Foxy, and our observer was Harry Bow. Thank you all very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.